It usually starts with a slow retraction. You stop replying to group chats. You treat your birthday like a Tuesday. Eventually, you delete the apps, let the phone go quiet, and watch your circle contract. To an outside observer, this looks like a failure. Society labels this behavior as antisocial or broken, the actions of someone who has simply given up on the world. When you hear those labels enough, they become your internal monologue. You start to wonder if your need for distance is a defect, or if you're missing a social gear that everyone else seems to use effortlessly. However, looking at the data of these withdrawals reveals a pattern that doesn't align with the symptoms of defeat or clinical depression. This specific type of isolation functions as a defense mechanism. By stepping back, the individual is attempting to stabilize their internal environment and protect their emotional integrity from external turbulence. Every interaction has a cost. This battery is your social bandwidth. Absorbing others' emotional weight drains your reserve. You constantly export calm to settle their chaos. Over time, you value preserving your own cognitive energy over maintaining lopsided friendships. This leads to a shift in how you spent your time. You stop trying to manage a large volume of casual connections and start applying strict, non-negotiable requirements for who earns a seat at your table. Deleting social media or staying single are often tactical moves within this economy. They represent an exit from markets demanding high emotional investment for little genuine human return. A shrinking social circle is the result of an active vetting process. You are choosing to focus your limited energy on a few high-quality connections rather than spreading it thin across dozens of superficial ones. People who notice details others miss are dealing with a much higher volume of incoming data. If you're tuned in to subtle changes in tone, micro-expressions, or the hum of the air conditioner, your brain is working overtime to process the environment. This level of awareness makes noisy, crowded, or highly structured places physically exhausting. You aren't being difficult. Your nervous system is simply hitting its processing limit. Quirks like talking to yourself or zoning out during meetings are tools for noise cancellation. They divert power away to sort through through-acted data. This also explains the birthday avoidance. A celebration creates a forced emotional performance. By treating it like a normal day, you bypass the obligation to manage the expectations and energy of a room full of people. When hurt or overwhelmed, they go quiet. Silence serves as a buffer against external drama. This retreat creates a controlled environment where you can hyper-focus and analyze a threat logically without the interference of shifting emotions or outside opinions. Withdrawal acts as a form of self-regulation. It is a specific strategy used to lower the sensory volume and regain control over your own mental state. When you combine digital minimalism, a smaller social circle, and a need for quiet, a distinct profile of intentional independence emerges. You might feel a sense of guilt, as if you're falling behind the milestones of a loud social world. But look at the visual difference. One is an overgrown jungle. The other is a life being carefully pruned for clarity and peace. Choosing to sit with yourself rather than settle for a shallow connection requires a level of internal stability that most people spend a lifetime trying to build. It is the refusal to accept filler in your life. If your nature is to question the norm and see what others miss, you will inevitably find yourself standing apart from the crowd. Observation requires distance. You have to give yourself permission to let go of the social debt that you think you owe. You're allowed to take up space, to be quiet, and to guard your time without apologizing for it. For those who think deeply, protecting your peace is not a behavioral flaw. It is the foundational requirement for staying grounded in a world that never stops shouting.